Hello, in this video we're going to take a look at an important aspect of MeshCentral, which is the ability to script server operations. So let's take a look at that right now. So if you're an administrator of a MeshCentral server, one thing you may want to do is automate the creation of user accounts, user groups, deleting accounts or groups. You may want to go fetch information about specific devices and so on and so forth. So you want to be able to do some of the operations that you do on the website, but do it using a command line tool or doing scripting. And so there's the ability to do that with a tool called MeshCtrl that is built into MeshCentral. So let's take a look at that a little bit. So I have my desktop right here, and on the left side I have my developer server. And on the right side, I just opened a command prompt. And what we're going to do is, let's say you have MeshCentral installed in a folder like c:/MC here. What we're going to do is in addition to run MeshCentral, of course, I presume you've done that already, we are going to run node /modules /MeshCentral/MeshCtrl. I say MeshCtrl, but in reality it's spelled MeshCtrl, MeshCtrl. And you hit enter and you see this long list of commands that are available in MeshCtrl. Now, before I go forward, the MeshCtrl tool does not have to run on the same computer as the MeshCentral server. So what you can do is go into the node modules MeshCentral and grab MeshCtrl.js. In fact, if you just run MeshCtrl.js, enter, it will work. So grab that file and you can copy it into a different computer, and then you can use that to log in to MeshCentral, your MeshCentral server, and perform a bunch of operations. Now, for the sake of speed here, I am going to run on the same computer as the MeshCentral server, and I already run MeshCentral with the -- user admin here, so I'm always logged in as admin. So so this allows me to not have to do things like put my login user, my login password, or my token here, and the URI. I don't have to do that in my video here. But normally what you would do is you would run MeshCtrl --URI, and you would put, WebSocket, secure WebSocket / myserver.com or whatever your server is, and then -- login user, your username, and then -- login password and your password. So this is how you would run MeshCtrl normally from any computer you want. Now, I don't need to do this for this video, but I'm going to start by, for example, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this entire text and I'm going to open Notepad. I'm going to paste it in Notepad here, so I'm going to use it as a reference so we can quickly run commands and see what happens. So, for example, I can tap MeshCtrl server info, and it will give me information about the server, the name, languages supported, and so on and so forth. So that's cool. I can also do things like list users, and this will give me the list of all the users on my demo server. I can also say list devices, and this will give me the list of devices. Now, the list of devices it's only going to give you the list of devices for the account you're logged in. So here I'm logged in as administrator, and so I'm only going to see the devices that is in my account. So if you want to see a device that's in a different account, you'll have to log in MeshCtrl onto that different account and then do this. So basically, MeshCtrl allows you to do the same thing that you can do in a web interface. If you can't access a device in the web interface, you won't be able to access it in MeshCtrl. Okay, so another command I have, let's see. I want to try device info. So let's see, device info. And here you'll see that it's missing the ID. By the way, I can also do help and any command. So I can do, for example, help device info or help, whatever command, and it will give you more detail about that command. But in this case here, I want to do I want to do device info, and I'm going to grab, like, for example, SuperNook here, this identifier, and I'm going to do --ID, paste the identifier, and then you see all the information about this device, like the general tab, the computer name, the IP address, the icon it has. So, for example, SuperNook is right here. And if I were to change the icon to a laptop and run this command again, you would see that the icon is now number 2. And if I put this icon here and run it again, then the icon is number 8. And so you can see that it's pulling the right information from your server. And here you have information that you would typically find, for example, in a detail tab, like memory and networking and all this stuff. It's all right here. Another thing you can do with device info is you can do --JSON, and it will give you the same information, but in JSON format. So this is nice if you want to take the output of this command and then parse it using some other tool like Node or Python or something like that. Okay, so other things we can do. Let's bring back my reference here. So one thing I can do is add a user, for example. So I'm going to wipe this out and say add user, and it will give me, I need the username, so I'm going to say user, and I'm going to go in my user groups here, and I'm going to add the user ZZ. It will, of course, ask me for a password, --pass, and I'm going to do 4 Z's, and I think that's it, done. And you can see the user just popped up here. And I can click on it, and it's already set up. So I won't go through all the commands, but obviously, this is fairly powerful if you're intending to script MeshCentral from another program or something for automating tasks. Now, another thing you can do is the MeshCtrl program is not that hard. So you can take a look at it, look at how it's working, how it authenticates, the WebSocket protocol, and you can mimic it in other languages. So instead of taking MeshCtrl and kind of invoking it, you could take the source code, take a look at it, modify it yourself, and so on. A couple of other commands I want to highlight that are interesting. Run command. This allows you to run a DOS or bash command on a remote device. Shell allows you to remotely access the shell. Upload and download allows you to upload and download files from your computer to a remote computer. So this can be useful if you want to, for example, retrieve logs every day of a bunch of computers. You can do that using the download method. Device open URI. This will open the web browser, a web browser on a remote device to a given URI that you specify. Device toast. This will just pop up a little note. Device power allows you to wake and sleep the device, and so on. There's plenty of other crazy stuff here. For example, broadcast will allow you to broadcast a message to all your logged in users right now. Another one that's interesting is show events. If you do this, show events, it will show you in real time all the events on the event bus for the user you're logged into. So for example, if I go somewhere, like I'll grab this device here and I'll change the icon, you can see that there's an event here that says, let's see if I can find it, change node. So essentially what happened is that this node changed, and here's the updated information. So for example, here you can see icon is 4, and then if I switch it to something else, oops, I have to deselect this. Okay, there it goes. So if I select here, you can see icon number 2, and if you click here, icon number 1. So show events allows you to, in real time, get events from the server and react to them. So you could pipe that to another script, and as the user does something, you could immediately react to the user's actions. Anyway, So this is a very quick look at how to script MeshCentral. Extremely powerful, very important for administrators to know about this. And otherwise, I'll see you some other time. Thank you.